This is a topic that's been on my heart for a while to talk about, and it's a tough one. So it's about grief and loss. I hope I don't upset anybody, but my intent is to bring you some level of comfort. About 20 years ago, I was a counselor at an elementary school, and this girl came to us mid-school year from another state who was 12 years old and had terminal brain cancer, and her family had moved here as a last-ditch effort to take her to Children's, and I was very involved with her plans and her accommodations and everything, and she was just the brightest light, and everyone who met her fell in love with her. So, sorry, I still miss this girl. As the school year went on, we knew she wouldn't be back for another school year. And as synchronicity would have it, she moved down the street from where we lived. And my daughter at the time, who was born into the soul esteem community, was 5. And so we would go visit this girl about once a week. And there were all these hospice people and all these people in and out of the house, but she really wanted us to come visit. So as the summer went on, Grace overheard the hospice nurses saying, her body's failing and we don't know what she's holding on for. And Grace, in a very spiritually confident way, said, I need to go talk to her by myself. And she went in the room and closed the door. And so we were all kind of like, okay. She wasn't even in kindergarten yet. And so she went in, talked for about half an hour, came out and said, she's ready to go now. And this girl passed the next day. So of course we were all, what did you say? And she said, I just had to remind her what was waiting for her in heaven. And she said, I asked her what she liked to do, and she said shoe shopping. And so I told her, in heaven there's a giant mall, and she has a giant closet, and she just needs to go shoe shopping. And I was like, wow, okay. So that story has always brought me comfort when I've lost people. My dad is singing with his friends and playing golf with a legitimately good score without cheating. My Aunt Betty is decorating homes like Martha Stewart. My Uncle Dave is driving John Deere tractors in the field. So it has always brought me comfort when I've lost people, that to think of them, because what Grace said is, in heaven there's no limits. There's no limits to your body, there's no limits to time, and there's no limits to money. So you can do whatever you love most as much as you want. And so that has brought me great comfort. And as a light worker, when I have gone to services for other people, when it feels right in the right moment, I have shared that with the people in the service who've lost their person and say, we'll think what they're doing now, because they have no limits now. So as light workers, I invite you all to also share that story with whoever you think needs to hear it. And I would like to add one little piece to that. A couple of years after this event happened, Grace mentioned missing someone who had passed from soul esteem. And I said, oh, he's missing you too. And she looked at me like I was stupid. And she said, people in heaven don't miss us. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, a part of our spirit's always in heaven, so we're there with them. We just miss them because their body's not here with us. And I was just like, wow, okay. So let me add that to what I hope will bring you comfort. The people we've lost, we haven't really lost. They're not missing us because we're there with them. And they are living an unlimited, joyful existence. So I hope that brings someone comfort that needed to hear that today.